This is the Washington Times front page for President's Day, Monday, February 20th, 2023. Thanks for starting your week with us. I'm George Gerbo. It's been more than 2 weeks since a train derailment and chemical fire in East Palestine, Ohio began wreaking havoc on their community, but Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg has been a no-show. His absence, Susan Ferricchio reports, has triggered a new round of criticism about his performance. Buttigieg has been repeatedly criticized over his handling of emergencies involving railroads, airlines, and supply chains. On Capitol Hill, Republican lawmakers said Buttigieg was too focused on semantics and not on improving aviation, railroad safety, and other aspects of his job. West Virginia Democratic Senator Joe Manchin added it was unacceptable to wait nearly 2 weeks for a senior administration official to show up to the derailment site. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is leading the emerging field of 2024 Republican presidential candidates with a strategy to deal with Donald Trump, ignore the former president's attacks, and avoid mentioning him by name. Susan reports other Republicans are following the DeSantis playbook, and Republican strategists say the approach is smart, at least for now. DeSantis is by far the most popular Republican primary candidate other than Trump, and he's outperforming the former president in one-on-one matchups in several polls. You can read all of these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. You can also find the entire lineup of Washington Times podcasts at WashingtonTimes.com/podcasts. Many employees who quit last year in the so-called Great Resignation are now facing unemployment as technology company layoffs reduce coveted work-from-home positions. Sean Salai reports 4/5 of workers who left their jobs during the pandemic said they now regret it. That's according to a survey of 825 employees and 354 employers from the human resources firm Paychex. That share rose to 89% of those born after 1996. Although 68% of all job hoppers told Paychex they tried to return to their former positions, only 27% of employers reported rehiring any of them. Workers in their 20s seeking flexible remote positions with better salaries drove a record-high 50 million resignations last year. That was up from 47 million in 2021, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And finally, the Biden administration has moved to deepen America's economic, diplomatic, and military footprints along China's periphery. In recent weeks, Andrew Salmon reports the U.S. cheered Japan's plan to vastly expand its defense budget and work to improve relations between Japan and South Korea. Regional leaders said last week they're expecting visits from President Biden in the near future. Meanwhile, work is proceeding on a U.S.-British-Australian pact, which is widely seen as an initiative to restrain China. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Washington Times in any major podcast app. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.